Analytical Jerks podcast, episode 2. What's going on, everybody? My name is Nate, and I'm here with
it's your boy DJ. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and so we made a name change to this podcast.
Let's go.
We are now called Analytical Jerks podcast. We are the Analytical Jerks, me and DJ. We made the name change because we felt that Analytical Jerks does a better job representing who we are in general. Just it does a very good job.
Personality wise,
who we are,
everything just captures us to the T.
Yeah, and so we just talking was just a temporary name for us to get started with, so we can just.
But it also made sense because we never really had a generalized topic on what we were going to be discussing.
Right.
So it also still just made sense, which is why if you ever ask, "Oh, well, what are you guys going to be talking about?" Nothing specific. We're just talking.
It was one of the questions that. Well, yeah, those were one of the questions that I felt was annoying because I felt like the name was self-evident. Like, oh, what are you guys talking about?
Right, but it's a little different now because I mean, even now
it's different.
So it's like Analytical Jerks. Okay, so like, what are you guys talking about? I mean, it's still the same. It's still the same concept. We're still just talking, but we're here to talk about, or whatever we do talk about or discuss. It's here to kind of pretty much open your mind up to a different experience.
Yeah,
so the things that you're frightened or too scared to address or don't want to discuss, it's erratic discussion in a sense.
Well, yeah, we
like
basically just want to make people laugh. We want to help people move beyond their intellectual defaults, and we also want to create a space or an environment where people can engage in self-exploration, and so Socratic discussion and foolishness are to be expected. So this also is a safe space to be unsafe. It's a safe space to be unsafe, basically. So I just came up with that just now, and I'm a genius. So
yeah, for sure,
I'm a genius, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Stop it. Was the last thing we said?
Yeah. You told me, I asked you if I was a genius. You said yeah, and I said thank you.
I'll show you, right?
Okay, cool. So, so what you been up to, DJ?
Okay, so for sure. Look, it's been a kind of a busy week. You know what I'm saying? I started work. You know what I'm saying? So I deliver packages. It's clutch. I'm my own man. Don't nobody tell me what to do. Solid. All right.
Okay.
I'm on my own time. Now it is time consuming though. I ain't finna tell y'all.
I mean, at least you're getting paid.
Yeah, it's weekly. I don't really like weekly though. I think I like bi-weekly.
Why?
You said why? So even though it's weekly, right? I didn't get paid the first week. I got paid this week, but I got paid this week for last week. Yo, that's some bi-weekly shit. That's not weekly. Weekly, I'm supposed to get my chips. I didn't get my chips for this week, so I'm confused. I feel cheated right now.
You better turn some shit up over there.
I mean, I said something. I for sure complained, but at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. I'll wait till next week. When next week comes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll expect
all
that
I've
pay.
been up to is some school shit.
School. That too. I got my final. This my final week. You got one more week though, right?
Technically 2, because I haven't gone through this week yet, so
this
I
week
still
is
count
over
it
with.
as-
The week starts on Sunday.
I don't
new
believe in
week
that shit.
starts on
I don't believe
Sunday.
in that.
What do you mean you don't believe
I don't
that?
believe in that.
It does. It starts on
According
a
to
Sunday.
who?
What do you mean according to who?
Who said that?
The week
That's
doesn't
the
start on
weekend.
Monday. The week doesn't start on Monday.
Why don't we work on Sunday?
Who doesn't work on Sunday? I've worked almost all my jobs. I've worked on Sunday.
Oh, you're different. That's not what we do.
What do you mean that's not what we do? That's what
Nope.
a lot of people do. I work on Sunday. If you don't work on Sunday, then most people usually go to church.
Hell no, I'm not going to church either.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to do it. I'm gonna need you to take the hell out of hell no. When you say that we're going to church, you say No, maybe I don't
I'm
believe
not
in
going to
that.
church.
Okay, see, now that's a little bit better than hell no. I'm not going to church with the chuckle like, huh, church.
I mean,
I'm
church is
too.
cool if the bishop is. I mean, not the bishop, but I mean, yeah, Bishop Noel
They're a
Jones. I
bishop,
usually
right?
go to.
Bishop, pastor, whatever.
I usually go to City of Refuge.
City of Refuge.
So if the pastor is talking about some real shit, then yeah, like I'm there, but I'm cool. But he ain't talking about real shit every week. Like the last time I went,
But you
it was
go
kind of
though.
weak
But
compared
you
to some other shit that I
okay? But
heard.
you go though.
Excuse me?
You go though. You go to church.
No, no. I only
When
go
was the
if
last
it's
time you went?
Mother's Day weekend,
When was Mother's Day?
May 12th.
All right, for sure.
I
I'm not
think
good with holidays. Honestly, the only one that's
I'm not
important.
good with
The only
holidays
one that's
either.
important to me is Christmas.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm not.
That's supposed to be a religious
I
holiday.
wish I didn't have to say happy whatever the fuck all
Well, I
the
don't like
time.
Mother's Day or Father's Day.
I don't like.
I actually told my dad that too on Father's Day because I actually went out with him on Father's Day, but it wasn't intentional because I didn't know it was Father's Day. I just so happened to set up a date with him to go to the movie to take him to the movies, and I found out that morning that it was Father's Day, and I told him I said, "Hey, bro, if we didn't go to this movie, you probably would have just received a text from me, if that, saying Happy
I'm
Father's
not.
Day."
I'm not. I feel it's not real energy. Like
Well,
it's not genuine.
so
Just because it's a day, like I
that
gotta
part.
happy. Hey,
So I don't
it's your
see,
day
and that part
now.
I don't agree with that. I think there's too many holidays
Too
that
many.
celebrate nonsense that should be celebrated on a daily basis,
No,
especially
no, I
Mother's
don't
Day
think
and
it.
Father's Day.
I don't think it should be
No,
celebrated on a daily basis. But if you
yes,
do
Mother's and
appreciate, no, if you do
Father's Day,
appreciate,
yes,
if you do happen to appreciate your
yes,
father or
but
mother,
that's every day.
no,
If you appreciate your parents, you're going to appreciate them every day. And when I say appreciate them every day, does that mean that you have to go out? You don't feel that way. See, now our
you
guest
do
today.
that.
No, not me.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, but we
Neither of
have
us
a
do
no,
that.
no. But our guest
Who's not
different,
here yet?
right? But when she gets here, she'll be here shortly. But if she is on a difference, because if my aunt, right, if my aunt was my mother, or my mom acted the way that my aunt does, I probably would really appreciate my aunt, honestly, because I would be set up for success.
That's different. Like you can appreciate your aunt because she gave you a place to stay for a while.
But not even that. She gave me much more than that, and just the things that she is. So I mean, it's just essential of when, like when you want to talk to somebody, right? Essentially, the first person that you would want to really talk to or should be able to talk to, at least in my mind, is your parents. And when you can't communicate with your parent like that, I don't think that's just a good sign. That you can't communicate with your parent
Yeah, it's a
when it comes
terrible
to
sign.
like when it comes to like something serious or something going on in your life, and you like, nah, I don't want to talk to them because you don't want to deal with what they're gonna say with the backlash, or like it's not a positive
I
outcome.
just don't believe in the brain power of my parents to actually be able to philosophically consult me in a
Okay,
situation.
see, but that's an issue. To me, that's an issue, and I don't want my kid to feel that way. So the fact that I have my aunt, and my aunt, like, I can connect with her on all levels, like, and I like want to talk to her and
Yeah,
like
that's
just
different.
spill stuff. It's
Yeah,
just like I really appreciate her, and I
yeah.
appreciate how she's also open and being older, and just open to things, to where she can communicate. She can also kind of see things from my point of view. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. Well, let me hit you with some old wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also still learn, because I think also too a part of just a part of her culture, and just in the back in the day, she's a part of that. She didn't go to school. She actually uh she went straight to work, I believe, straight from high school. She didn't go to college,
Hmm.
but she's knowledgeable because she self teaches herself. So when it's
She's
if
knowledgeable, meaning she knows a lot of facts, or
she knows a lot of facts,
okay.
because but it's all self taught. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it
So she
like if you
reads.
yeah,
That's rare.
if you say that, like, if you tell her something, like, if you so for instance, a job, right? She left her first job, AT&T, right? That she was working there for a while. She ended up leaving that job and was working for this Letterman jacket place. But she was working the books essentially. That was she supposed to initially get hired there for, but she did not. She didn't know how to run the book. She didn't know how to run Microsoft Excel. She didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
But what she did was she told the owner. She said, give me a week and I'll get back to you, or whatever. And my auntie took it upon herself. She took a class. She went found a workshop to teach Microsoft Excel and all the books. Did it in like 2 days. Learned it. Called back. And I was like, all right, I'm good. I know how to do everything with the blah, blah, blah. It ended up, getting a job and showing, the owner. And, that's just another level that a lot of people aren't doing.
I would never in my fucking life try to learn Microsoft Excel for a job.
See, but that's what I'm saying though. That's the difference from my aunt. Like my aunt literally takes, like, she'll go search for knowledge. Whatever she does not know, she'll go search for it. She'll go find out to try and get the hard facts to be able to, inform everyone or whoever she's talking to with the correct information. And she'll also give you the resources that, because I hate when you talk to somebody and you ask, okay, well, why would I believe you? Like, where'd you get your information from? Oh, yeah, she's going to hit you with exactly where she got the information from. You can search here.
Yeah, but sometimes when someone is telling you something, it's
not always reliable, but that's why you check the...
No, I'm saying that people don't... Some people don't operate like that, where their opinion about something, it doesn't come from a fact. It comes from, like, their subjective understanding, and it may be right. Yeah.
No, for sure. It does.
If you ask me, where did you get that from? I'm going to be like, bitch, nowhere.
But that's what I'm saying, though. She does have her opinions on things.
She's a walking APA.
Hey, she's...
research paper.
Hey, she's fine. She has her own subjective opinions, though, on a handful of things. But at the same time, she's... I don't know. I appreciate that woman. That woman's amazing.
Facts. I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah, but she's the only one, and she knows this because I've said it. Hey, look, I love you guys. I just want to throw that out there right now. I love my parents. I love you guys for who you are, but I want you to know that there are two categories of people in my life: friends and associates. You guys are in that associate category. I want you to know that.
Well, for me, it's more about, like, I gravitate to just people that I align with on different levels. I don't really care if they're blood or not.
Yeah, but that's why I have two categories: friends and associates. Because if you're friends to me, essentially it's just like the same. It's not the same as family, because it's...
Why not?
Why?
Yeah.
Because when I think of my family, I could have family members, which I do, in the associate category.
But is that just because they're your family members? Because there's some family members that you don't connect with.
No, because they have associate qualities.
Okay. So, but I'm just saying, like, there's some family members you don't connect with.
Yeah.
And so, for me, if I connect with you on a very personal level, I'm going to consider you...
You're a friend.
Family.
I mean, a friend is like family to me, but you're still just classified as a friend. I just don't say it's family.
I see. Okay,
so
cool.
Essentially, it's like the same thing, but I just don't say it's family because, I mean, I guess it's kind of like it's a known thing for me. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're a friend to me, you're family. Like, I trust you enough. Like, you could be in my space. I know you're not going to steal from me, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
Like, I really mess with you. You can ask me to go do something, I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, what fuck shit have you been into?
Well,
because last time we left off, something about a leash, rough.
Okay, boy.
Licking pussy.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. I see you just gonna
keep on. If you haven't checked out our last episode, we found out that DJ is a super nice guy. If for all the women out there, if you're just looking for somebody to just eat you out,
okay, buddy, I'm gonna need you to.
That
relax.
Is your guy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's not listen to
that's
this man
because
that's not entirely true.
He'll be nice if you get him. If you can get him to
look at here. No, it's not. Don't listen to him because it all depends. This is case by case scenario. Case by case.
I'm just saying if you play your cards right, ladies.
It's not if you play your cards right. If you
Yeah,
you can't even describe it. Look, it's no, you can't describe that.
just treat him like Taylor treated him. That's it.
No, it's not.
Oh, you learn. Okay, he's learned.
No, it's
So you just got to come at him with a different angle.
no, you don't. You come in at a different angle of anything. That's just like I guess a woman catching a dude with bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
It's not gonna happen. So no. I'm more into vibes anyway.
vibe.
Yeah, like not really. I guess it's kind of like a friendship thing. Like when females tell you, "Oh, I'm not looking to date," or whatever. I just want like a friendship or some bullshit, whatever.
Yeah, shut up.
Essentially,
Shut up.
essentially, it's like that bullshit.
That's like the female version.
That's kind of how I take it.
That's the female version. I just want to fuck.
Well, cause I don't want to put emotions into like, I guess I don't want to make an investment into things. Only for the simple fact that who wants to get hurt? Nobody wants to get hurt. So it's just like, look, I'm doing what I'm doing. You doing what you doing. You know what I'm saying? We talk when we talk. We hang out when we hang out. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoying each other's time. Now, if shit evolves into something else, then it evolves into something else. But I am not initially like, oh, well, I really like you and, I want to hang out with you more. Nah, you should have your career goals. I have my career goals. I have shit to do. You have shit to do. Like I said, we're just enjoying each other's time. Essentially, for the most part. And like I said, if it evolves, it evolves.
It's a lot of thought energy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a good time. That's it. I give
Fair
people.
enough. That's fine.
I
That's
give
fine.
people a good time. You feel
I'm
me?
just fucking around. I'm just
Okay,
fucking
big girls, little girls, all of them, little people. Okay.
You did have an experience with a big girl. You fucked her.
Yes. BBWs get love out here too. Okay, I don't discriminate.
What's the story of that?
The big girl.
Yeah.
She was my Uber driver, driving me to work.
Okay.
One morning.
Okay.
She said she could sing, boop boop boop, blah blah blah. I think a song played. I threw a couple vocals in there.
What? Y'all recorded a song?
No, in the car. What with what equipment?
I don't know. You just said you threw a couple vocals on there.
Yeah, cause I was singing a little bit in the car because a song that I like came on.
Oh, okay.
On my way to for her dropping me off.
So what did you do?
She gave me her she gave me her number.
And would you give her like some food, a snack, or some shit?
No, I didn't give her shit. I just said I'm going to work, and I got her number, and we exchanged numbers. It was like, all right, cool, we hang out, whatever, whoopty whoop. I think she talked to me.
You think she would have fucked you better if you did give her a snack?
Well, that's the thing though. The day that I met her, or the day that we exchanged numbers, like I didn't have sex with her until I think I exchanged numbers with her last year. We didn't fuck until a couple months ago. Literally like a month. Yeah, about maybe a month or 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So
there was some time put into before it happened.
No, there was no time. We only talked maybe twice with the numbers, and then I stopped talking to her. And then I seen her on Snapchat, on my Snapchat or some shit like that, and she posted something. Then she randomly hit me up while I was coaching when I was working at the school. And I was communicating with her that day, boop bop bing, and then I guess you kind of say maybe I was lonely. I ain't been in I wasn't in nothing at the time, so I was trying to set up some shit.
You were lonely. You were thinking like, damn, who's gonna let me fuck? Aha.
Essentially, like every nigga, and I was already setting up some shit.
He said, aha.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. So,
that big girl.
Yeah, because what did I get home? I think I got home like 9 or some shit like that. And then I think it was like 11. She was on some bullshit. She was really playing, she was playing like the mind games. Like she just didn't want to say, you're coming over to fuck. Because she was like, oh, well, you could come.
Like, not many women are.
Yeah, but I want this straightforward, like you know what they're doing. The last one that I was with, which she's an amazing woman. She's an amazing girl. She knows the deal. She knows the deal.
Who? One of those Backpage girls?
No, what the hell?
Oh,
No.
who?
Uh, I guess I could say her name, Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just special. You know what I'm saying? You're wonderful. But yeah, Jalen. That's her name. I like that
Cool.
name. But yeah, she knows what it is. She knows the deal. I don't understand.
What is it that she knows?
What is it that she knows?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just straightforward. I like
she's
just
direct.
getting straight to the point. You know what
She's
I'm saying?
direct.
Like, yeah, like whatever you kind of essentially kind of want.
I
Like,
can tell that's your
you know,
interaction style.
yeah, I don't
mm.
really like the small talk. You know, like, look, you know why people came over. Like, you know why people coming over late at night. You know why if you come in the morning, like, you know, like, let's get this shit out in the open, okay? So we can make sure, pretty much not even just to expect anything. It's just we know what we doing because just to me, I have other stuff to do. Since I have other things to do, I need to outweigh whatever your
No pun
intentions are.
intended.
If whatever you're trying to do is less important than
So
what
how much
I
do you
want to
think
do.
the old girl weighed?
Oh, she was probably for sure like two, 3 times my weight.
Just think
Like
it said 2 times 2.
no, like two to 3 times my weight. Like she was.
Okay, she
was a big
was
girl.
how tall? You think 5'6"?
How tall? Oh no, she was my height. That's how you know she was big.
5'8"?
She was about my height. Yeah.
And so what are we saying?
She was fluffy.
185, 200?
No, she was for sure 200 plus.
220?
I don't know. Maybe she was 2 plus, bro. She was.
So
fluffy.
was it a good experience?
Was it a good experience? Oh, that's the first girl that I've been with that squirted. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was an interesting experience.
What kind of squirts are we talking about? Like
I'm talking about
projectile
squirt. No, I'm
squirts,
talking about squirt. So look, this is how you know that this is how you know that she was a big girl once again. And then I'm not that big. So when I was over there,
yeah,
she was late. I'm laying on her bed. She has a wonderful bed. But
what kind of bed frame? Is it strong?
Oh, it was 30. Come on now.
Yeah.
She's bigged up. Come on now.
I just wanted to make sure.
It can't shake. That motherfucker didn't shake.
Oh shit.
That motherfucker was 30.
Okay. So what'd you do to her?
Well, it really was a cuddle. It was almost. I felt like a baby, nigga, because I was laying in her lap, just watching this. Acting like I was watching
Did
this
she ask you
movie.
what you wanted for Christmas too?
I mean, she kept on rubbing her vagina on my back.
What?
Like she kept on gyrating and shit. It was kind of weird.
What the hell? Okay.
It's a very interesting how how the whole thing started.
Okay.
Because we were watching. For one, we were watching Gone Girl.
When you were sitting on when you were sitting on her lap, were you like
Yeah,
kicking your feet? Like
She ain't that tall. I was still overextended past her, but still I was there because I was laying my head in the titties. You know what I'm saying? So I had some pillows. Those are my pillows, essentially. Because I think I was laying on the bed
does she
regular.
have like the kind of titties that you can like put your head in the middle of and then just take both of her titties and then just slap it on the back of your head?
Nope, they're not saggy. They're pretty perky. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I wouldn't do that. That's not my fancy.
I would if they were saggy. The saggies and baggies.
I've had a couple of those.
What's wrong with that?
But you know what? I don't really like bigger than like double D.
Fair enough.
I
That's
think
fair.
there's a such thing as too much titties and too much
Especially
ass.
if they don't move.
Yeah, that's wild. But then again, I'm not caring about that. It's just the size. It's just like, come on now. What are you doing with all that? What do you want me to
She
do with
wants
all
attention.
that? What do you want me to do with all
Look
that?
at me.
Look. Yeah, but let's get past the looking. Then what? They're just there. You just got some fucking balloons on you.
I'm
like,
pretty. She's doing
that don't
deadlifts.
pop.
She's doing deadlifts every day.
That's so weird. Like if your body structure doesn't even fit that, it's just weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
But it was wonderful though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think because I just got sick and tired of her rubbing her vagina on my back.
Does she have pubes too? Or
No. Oh no, she was clean shaven.
She was smooth.
Oh, she was smooth.
I was about to say, 'cause
Smooth like butter.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't finna eat her out though. That wasn't happening.
You didn't want to catch. You didn't want to drink from the water fountain.
No. Well, I didn't know that they was gonna do all that at first, cause of course she said, "Did I have a condom?" And I got it. I'm like, of course I brought one.
You was like, nah.
You've lost it. No. She was for sure getting a condom treatment. I for sure brought a condom out.
I mean, fair enough. She squirts. That's
yeah,
a problem.
I just gave it a couple rubs.
I mean, it's not a problem, but it become a problem if you're not trying to bust it inside.
Hell yeah, because what if she got, oh my God, I would have lost my fucking mind. Imagine you get the wrong girl pregnant. I don't want that call. I want it from the right one, and to where you get like, let's say you had a whole handful of maybe like baddies or attractive women, right? Not even baddies, just attractive women, right? And you did do that. One of them, did get pregnant. Yes, I'm happy about that. Now maybe you're not happy because maybe her personality is trash, or you really just don't gel with her. You be like, damn, she look good though. How can I make this better? Maybe she can.
I mean, the only reason why you would ejaculate inside of her is only because you're thinking about, I want my kids to look good.
Well,
right?
I want somebody tall. Initially, I really don't care about that. I really just want somebody.
How tall are we talking? Like 6'2"? 6'3"?
Nope, that's not tall enough.
6'4"? What do you mean? What do you mean it's not tall enough?
What do you mean? What do I mean? I mean that's not tall enough. I mean I need 6'5".
What?
Maybe 6'4". Look at here. I don't care about that tall short man dynamic. I'm ready to climb a tree, and I'm all for it.
6'4"? You want to go out with D Wade?
Sir. Sir. If my head is at her belly button, that's fire.
Honestly, I could see you pulling that off.
That's fire.
I can see you pulling that off.
You want to look. I think my attractions are very different for most men that are just attracted to ass and titties. I don't really. I care about a cute face because, for one, we're in public. We're gonna be in public most of the time, right? So you have to be attractive to me, and I have to feel comfortable enough to walk around with you and not feel embarrassed. I have to be able to want to show you off. We all want to show off whoever we're with, or I'm like, yeah. I go, oh, girl right here, and be like, oh, okay, she's cute. You can have a cute girl that doesn't have ass or tits or whatever. You'd be like, I mean, her body's not, or whatever. You body shame, whatever. We shouldn't do that. Okay, but
So.
But yeah,
she's a squirter.
Squirt.
Okay, what does that mean? It's not projectile squirt, or?
No, it was there. Like my arm, I gave it a couple.
So it was the gushing kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was gushy gush. I was like, yo, I had to back up a little bit. I was like, what the fuck?
What you backing up for?
I was like, what the fuck is because I didn't want that shit on my shorts, nigga. I was wearing my good shorts that night.
Take your shorts off, DJ. What the hell?
I didn't have them off yet. I was warming it up.
This was, shit.
I was warming it up. Sensitive. So since I was warming it up, since she was already doing all that, that's when I saw it, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's time. After I warmed it up, after she was gushy, then I took my shorts off. But for sure, anyway, like I said, I backed up because I didn't want to fuck up my good shorts. It's my good shorts. All right.
What do you mean fuck it up?
What do you mean fuck it up? I for one, I had just washed maybe about 2 days prior.
I know, but it's kind of like getting water on your shorts.
No, it's not. It's a very distinct smell.
I'm sure the smell, but you can always wash that.
Okay, and once again, I just washed 2 days prior.
So
I wasn't gonna wash until the next week or 2 weeks prior to that. I don't need that on my good shorts, unless it's worth it.
You got to get in there.
Nah, unless the pussy juices are worth it, I'll keep that smell. Good memories.
Okay, no, I'm not keeping any smell, bro. I'm not with you on that one.
It's okay. It's a preference.
Okay, fair enough. So did you?
I've never done it though, but I mean, I'm just saying.
So what'd you do to her? You give her the Drake treatment? You brought out the measuring cup?
Oh hell no, no.
That's that light skin energy.
No, that's wild.
You and Drake are light skin.
These are facts, but we need to check that whole dynamic out.
It's we different.
No,
you're mulatto.
Light skin and dark skin is not different. Okay, we need to change that whole concept.
It is different. Michael Porter Jr. gets hurt all the time.
Let's
Y'all different.
What? Greg Oden, trash, hurt.
Fair.
What do you mean?
That was a really good rebuttal.
Exactly.
But he's different.
What do you mean he's different? What do you mean? Tall, trash, hurt. Get out of here.
I mean,
full beard.
Fair, but like,
all right.
I mean, I don't think we should.
Hashim to beat. You want me to keep going? These are true African natives.
Who?
Look at his name. Hashim Tabi.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you know who it is.
But think about all the dark skinned people that are doing better than the light skinned niggas in the
No.
NBA.
No.
LeBron James. Where's your light skinned niggas at?
Who else?
Name somebody.
Because these are, I think that's a whole nother discussion. Who are you determining
Fall.
between? No. Who
Zion
are you?
Williamson.
Okay, I like how you really naming the actual dark niggas. You're not naming anybody like Damian Lillard. That's on the
Zach
cusp.
Randolph.
Zach Randolpf is old.
You could name a bunch of light skinned niggas. You tripping right now.
I know I could. Steph Curry.
Yes.
Klay Thompson.
Yes.
The leaders.
See, but that's different energy. They don't play the same as the dark skinned niggas. It's different.
Do we need to? Splash City. What do you mean?
Fair.
Dame splashing.
Yeah, we're a lot of splash.
Okay. Jamal Murray splashing.
Measuring cup splash.
Okay. Oh, here you go. What's up with your measuring cup, bro? You like this? You like measuring cup? You like I don't know if you guys
That's
heard about the Drake scandal.
That's sicko mode.
Okay. Okay.
That's some
I see what
sick
you,
shit.
I see what you. Look, explain
He
the Drake
probably-
situation.
Okay,
Explain
well,
the Drake
apparently
situation.
some woman was trying to sue him because
I think it was because I think she tried to say like rape in a sense, or sexual assault, not rape, but sexual assault. She trying to say that he sexually assaulted her in a sense because of the activities that he made or forced her
but
to
didn't
do.
they
so
agree to
speak.
have sexual relations?
That part. Like you're
But-
there. How does somebody hit you with a fetish and then you just look and be like, I'm just gonna do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's when
but
you
I'm
stop
just
and be
gonna
like,
do-"
Drake.
Like what? What do you mean? What's Drake gonna do?
Excuse me, Aubrey.
He's gonna sing to you and make you stay. Like what is he gonna do? He's not gonna put his hands on you. He's light
I
skinned.
mean, maybe she felt some kind of like
He's light skinned.
pressure.
See,
Like-
that's a problem. See,
that's that light skin energy.
See, that's a lot. See, but that's a problem. That's what I'm saying.
And
We
you're
need to
trying
change
to
that whole
you're
dynamic.
trying to change. You're trying to change.
Yes, because it's the same. It's just men in general.
No.
Same. Yes, it's the same.
So black men and white men are the same.
That's not true.
Okay, so
That's different cultures.
there's a spectrum.
I mean, we're same as a men. Like we have similarities for sure, but I mean, as men, just as men. But
I have nothing in common with Steph Curry.
what?
I just also want to say I've never.
How
been
do you know? You don't even know Steph Curry. What are you
I've never,
talking about?
I've never. I mean, we have something in common. We like basketball, but I've never.
You like beautiful women, right?
Hold on. I've never been treated differently because of my skin color. Not at least not knowingly, and I would know.
Okay, and you're fortunate. I mean,
I've never had the black experience in America.
I think the only big, at least when I think about it, I don't think that I've really had that experience either. But I think when I do think about it, I think the biggest thing I guess would be like, I guess if I walk into a store right with a hoodie on or something like that, or just walking down the street, I'm not gonna get stopped or really pulled over or something like that, right? Compared to a darker skinned male who could have his hoodie on, or let's say you have tattoos or something like that. You have this look of, I guess, essentially, somebody that's in a gang, or I think that's what it's associated with. I think most darker male,
the dark male species.
yeah, are classified pretty much as like gang members. I'm not gonna lie, I've done it my damn self. I've seen a group of darker gentlemen and
See, that's the light
wanted to
skin
walk the way. Like, wow, they look pretty scary.
So that's interesting. So black people make the same kind of.
But you know what though? I want to throw that out there that I look at a bunch of no, it's not. That's not true. I was about to say I've seen a group of white men and been scared. No, yes I have. What? Any other culture though? No, that's not true.
I've never seen a group of white men and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna cross the street right now."
No, I'm scared of police. I see a group of police that's white men. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but not all of them are white, especially in LA.
No, not all of them, but it just depends. I'm just saying though. I think there's a group of everybody that's scary, honestly, because
Of
there's
course, it just
Latin
depends on where
men,
you
black
go.
men, white men, just men. Period. People. I'm scared of women. Why are you on the street, just chilling?
I've never seen that before.
Okay, that's like old girl.
I'm not crossing the street though.
I mean,
But if I do see a group of dark gentlemen, I might cross the street, but it depends on what they're
I don't know.
wearing.
I think everything is case by case.
There's a lot more social inferences that you have to pick up on other than just them being dark.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's case by case. You know.
You can tell when someone looks dangerous, no matter what.
Kind of
ethnicity they are.
You know what? No, kind of, because
you have a terrible meter.
No, you want to know why? I think it's only kind of. I don't really think that's
you
true.
need batteries.
I don't think that's true only because most black women have like their standard regular face. It's like a stink bitch face.
I don't talk to them.
Like they look unapproachable.
Okay.
In a sense.
Okay.
I went over this with a friend last night.
Okay.
I said the first time she said, "How did you feel the first time I met you?" I'm like, I mean, you was walking around like you had attitude. If I be frank, but until you get closer, I mean,
you get mad.
It turns into she started laughing.
Okay.
But when you laugh, you know this shit true.
My mom has that face.
And it's just like, I don't really get approached a lot. I'm sure you
don't.
No because you have this stink bitch face. When you walking around, when you're standing, you're just chilling. You're not smiling. It takes extra muscles to smile, and you're not doing it.
It seems like black women have no understanding of their social interfacing.
Yeah. Some of them, they're happy and go happy. I love it.
No,
but majority, they all, I think, just out the womb, black women have this stink bitch face. I think they just get that. And you could feel it though. I think that's what it is. But black women are really mistreated though out here though. That is a big thing.
Black women are mistreated by who?
They're not appreciated even by black men. Because you have
why? Why do you think that is?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a number of reasons. Cause I'm not the person that's mistreating them. Okay, I'm treating.
No, you said not appreciating them.
Yeah, they're not. I mean,
wait, who else are we appreciating out here?
Who else are we appreciating? Oh, you mean in term? I mean, it comes to like, it just goes to bigger.
Like, what's the criteria?
So it goes to bigger, like, so in terms of, let's say, even when you have a mugging, right, or somebody gets mugged, and we have our crimes and stuff like that, and how they report, a white woman if she gets raped immediately or some shit like that.
Oh, you're talking about legal stuff.
Yeah, it's more past it's not. It goes into other things. That's what I mean by unappreciated. It's a whole different thing.
So who's being appreciated so that we can compare?
It's even same as so like even white women when it comes to hair, like, or just not even white women but just other cultures, taking styles from black women that black women will do. Like twist.
So who owns Fashion Nova?
Who owns Fashion Nova?
Is it white people?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because they be taking.
But a handful of things, what I'm saying, black women do, and they get shamed for it.
Like what?
That's what I'm saying.
You don't have
hair.
An example.
No, I'm telling you, hair. Hair is a big thing.
Hair.
Yes, hairstyle is a big thing, bro.
Okay, hair.
That's just like how we used to not be able to wear have dreads.
What do you mean? They can't.
And what you said they can't what?
And what capacity? What are you talking about? You can't just saying hair.
No, because they're shamed for so like I said, if a girl has braids or something like that, right? Somebody could essentially say, "Oh, well, you can't have this job." It used to be. I think maybe it's getting a little better. I don't know. I think it'd be better for a woman to be speaking on this. Specifically black women. I'll ask my cousin actually our guest when we get here. So when our guest gets here, we'll reestablish.
I'm familiar with that situation.
But there's a bunch of things that.
But it would be different if also another white woman was walking into the same workplace with braids or dreads, and then it becomes okay. What the fuck?
But that's what I'm saying. These things happen.
Oh, they do.
Yes, they happen.
It's an epidemic. That's what you're saying?
It is.
Oh, it is. It's the epidemic. It's running rampant, huh?
It is.
It is?
Yes.
I need to see numbers. I need to survey
when
something.
When the guest gets here, we'll go over that. But for sure, because I think we need a woman for this, because these are statistics that I look up here and there, and at the same time hear from other black women. But besides that, I don't try and keep.
So you just believe anything somebody tells you?
No, like I said, I look up.
Oh, you look it up. So
I look up some of these things, but at the same time, it doesn't pertain to me. If it doesn't pertain to me, or anyone around me, I don't really care. Okay?
Yeah, you said that multiple times.
These are facts. This is why I don't care about politics. Sue me. I don't care.
But black women love politics, and you love black women.
They're not talking to me about it.
That's because you're not me.
We're not having a. What do you want to talk about? Trump is stupid, but I mean, what do you want me to say? The government is corrupt.
Sure. That's why I would
That's
rather.
it.
I would rather downsize the government.
I don't look here.
They should only be used for military purposes.
I'm on the tip of Thanos, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
We could have had the Thanos thing, but Zika, Ebola, we stopped all that.
All right. I feel like everybody need to go in this motherfucker, and we just need to start fresh. And when I say everybody, I mean, I'm not sorry. I was about to apologize. The fuck's wrong with me? No, all the old motherfuckers gotta go.
So how like past our parents' generation?
For sure.
Baby boomers and on.
For sure. If you're probably over 60, and we'll give an exception. We'll put you through a test.
We need those people, though.
We'll put you through it. No. We'll put you through a test.
No, we need those people.
No, we don't. We don't need old white men.
Because we don't know what the fuck we're
right
doing
now.
yet.
No. We can have certain people.
You need
we still got Obama, right? So we'll have somebody like him. Go ahead. I trust you enough to choose the right people. You know what I'm saying? For one, when I say that we need to start fresh, understand that I don't mean like a couple thousand. I don't think we mean like 1,000 people. I'm talking about like brand fucking new. I'm talking about 100 people.
Why do we need Obama?
We don't need Obama. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I just used him as a reference. Most people trust him.
You don't like us.
I don't know that. I'm not gonna go there with you. I'm not.
Most people trust him. That's a sign not to trust him.
I'm not finna have everybody hate me because talking about this man Obama.
Well, don't be trying to divide the light skinned and dark skinned people.
I don't.
There's a difference. Aren't you guys a little bit more whitewashed than?
Hey, chill out. I'm not whitewashed at all. I'm far from whitewashed.
What is whitewashed? First of all,
that's
a thing that a lot of black people used to throw out there.
It is whitewashed. Actually, let's look at the actual definition. So the whitewashed is a person who does not necessarily abandon his or her own culture, but rather embrace others besides his or own. I mean, I guess maybe we essentially all could be whitewashed.
Yes.
For the most part, because
based on that definition, yes. Right. But Urban Dictionary might have a different definition for whitewashed.
That is from Urban Dictionary.
Oh, okay. That's the first one?
Yeah, that's
How did you spell it?
It's whitewashed.
Is there a space? Is there a hyphen?
No, there's no space. It's just one word. Just like how we say it. Say it was one word.
Okay. Then I'm whitewashed.
Well, okay, so they have a top definition too, but
whitewash. Why is that?
Before they say a derogatory term used to describe a minority who has assimilated with Western society.
What?
Whoa.
That's fucked up.
Some people take
assimilated to Western. Wait, Western what?
Western society.
What the fuck does that mean? What? Western society?
Some people take it as a compliment while others take it as an insult. I mean, for sure. I mean, I guess that.
I mean, when black people say you're whitewashed because you speak well.
Okay, well, you have this one too.
That's a good compliment.
Well, you have this one. You have this definition too. So you have an absurd, patronizing term used for non-white, usually black, people who don't fulfill their negative racial stereotypes.
That's a good definition.
This term insultingly implies that one's ethnic identity is mutually exclusive to the lifestyle and respect that a white person can expect in his or her lifetime.
I like that the operational definition.
Yeah, that one makes more sense.
Because what is the black culture that I should be embracing in order to be claimed by the blacks?
But that's a thing though. How do
man? No one knows what the fuck black culture is.
No, we know what black culture is.
How do
we? It's
the only thing we got is music and food.
But that's culture.
Okay, what else?
That's the same as Asian people. It's the same thing. What's the other thing that we do? I mean, it'll go back to Africa. It's stuff that most people in America, black people in America, I think that's why it's a difference between African American and,
Yes,
Africans
because
and
we're
stuff
not
like
from
that.
Africa.
Our roots are from Africa, but we're not from Africa, so
Yeah,
we don't.
everybody's roots is
So
from
we don't.
somewhere.
Right, but we don't connect with that. So it always comes back to what is black culture
Hip hop, I guess.
for us.
It's hip hop.
Well, see, but we're making things, so once again, it's music. We have food. At least that's what we know. Dance.
I guess we've taken.
You can say
sports.
dance.
Sports.
Well,
some sports.
Is it? What sport did we
Basketball.
really have? Did we make it though?
So we have.
Or it's a difference from did we make it and it's a part of our culture, or did we just
we
play
adopt
it?
something and then we
Yeah.
dominated it.
Correct. I don't think that it's I guess you could say we made it a part of our culture, but I mean, I don't think it's something
it's
that
not
we
something
can
we
actually
made.
claim. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, if we were actually still attached to our culture from Africa, we would actually be playing soccer or football.
Oh, American
Africans
football.
play football.
Yeah, for sure they do. I don't play that shit. It's too much fucking running.
It's a good sport. It works on your.
I say there's too much running, yet I did cross country and track.
Yeah, you're tripping.
But it's just two different things.
It's like longevity running.
No, it's full
Well,
speed.
you did cross country.
Soccer,
That's longevity.
Soccer is full speed running back.
Not all
and
the time.
Forth, and then it's
That's if you're like near the ball. I think if you're not
But
near
that's
the
why
ball,
I
you
said,
can
but
just walk.
it's exhausting.
I would.
And I don't want nobody kicking my ankles. Let me be frank. If somebody kicked my
They make
ankles,
a lot of money. I wish
don't care how much
I wish
money
I
I
was
make.
good at soccer because that I would go to the.
bro, I like to walk.
You could walk on the field.
No, my ankles hurt now putting on shoes. I hate it.
That's because you're old.
I am old. I'm young and old. I'm an old man. No, I'm an old soul trapped in a young man's body. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But no, I can't do soccer. No, I'll play it for fun, I guess, here and there. But at the same, like I said, I don't want nobody kicking at my ankles. That's a fate.
Yeah.
I've never had a broken bone.
Me either.
So I want to keep it that way. Okay. Out of all the things that I'm actually scared of in this world, spiders.
Of course.
I have arachnophobia.
If I had the power to get rid of all spiders without messing up the ecosystem, I would. If like there was still going to be the same amount of insects and flies and mosquitoes, all that bullshit.
You know what?
I'd get rid of them niggas.
I'd be fine.
The fuck are you here for?
I'd be fine to keep them, but the thing
No.
is, I just don't want to see them. I think it would be like this. I just don't want them to be able to affect me. I would want it to be like.
That's why I'm never going to Australia.
No, never. They have the
I don't give a
world's. They
fuck.
have the world's most
You could be in the
poisonous,
nicest hotel and
poisonous
the one
animals
outta
and insects. I'm good on that. Like I do want to go, but at the same time I don't, because one of the I think it's
I'm sure it's.
I
nice
think it's
there.
the recluse. Is it the recluse spider?
The brown recluse.
Yeah, that's the one in Australia, ain't it?
I don't think that one is poisonous though.
Yeah.
Is
Are
it?
you sure? I think
That
that's
one?
the one.
I think there's two different types of recluses though.
Maybe, but I know that the one in Australia, literally, like, is in homes. It's invading homes.
Oh no,
backyards.
I remember reading
And-
about this article where this kid was helping his dad clean out his garage, and he was picking up pairs of shoes in the garage, and a spider wrapped around his finger and bit him. And
Yeah.
the pictures of the aftermath
no,
was
I'm
disgusting.
good.
I'm like, yo, y'all just got that shit.
Yeah.
And they got the fucking crazy ass kangaroos that eats on those plants. They got some plants out there that makes kangaroos go nuts. And
I'm cool with a kangaroo. I could.
no.
I would be-
You've never
I
seen
mean-
a real No.
No, I'm not saying. Look,
Have you seen them niggas?
I seen a video of a
Them
kangaroo
niggas are
going off.
not to be fucked with.
No, big facts. Big
I don't
facts.
fuck with them.
But I'm not gonna.
Baby
I'm not
kangaroos
as
are cool.
scared. I'm not as scared until I'm in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Until like a spider.
Niggas
If I hear a spider is in a room, like if somebody was to tell you, hey, there's spiders
No,
in the
no,
house.
no,
Or
no,
you
no.
can look in a certain
Stop.
area, like you can look in a
If
certain
you
area and be like, hey, yo, it's too dark in here.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
going.
Listen, if you
Or
open your
you
door
didn't
right
dust.
now and there was a 8-foot kangaroo just sitting there like, what's up, nigga? You would be scared.
I mean,
You'd be scared.
I wouldn't be scared. Look, if he, hold on, I think our guest is here.
All right, hold on.
I would introduce our guest, but I let her introduce herself. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's up? What's up? It's your girl Lil C from the Wood.
Hey,
Also known as Juice Wood.
Juice
On
WRLD.
my big cousin's podcast, just talking shit. We just talking.
Yes,
We
Analytical Jerks.
Analytical Jerks with the Jerks. Yeah, it's a good Sunday. You feel me? It's a
Safe
good
space
Sunday.
to
Let's
be
get it.
unsafe.
Like that.
Well, actually, I want to know. Well, just let the listeners know like what you do professionally,
Yeah.
because I think you have your own production company, right?
Yeah. I do. I have my own production company. I'm a filmmaker. I'm an actor. It's called Home Team Pictures. I'm also a community organizer. So really just out here trying to put on for the city. I feel like LA right now is in a war for its soul against gentrification and just a lot of different things. And since I've been blessed enough to be here my whole life, and I've stayed, even though I've been in other big cities, I feel like everything that I do, whether it's artistic or just volunteer based or whatever, should be in service of first my family and then the city of Inglewood, but LA, greater LA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the process of putting some real cool things together, and I hope that the Jerks will be with me.
Yeah, for sure. What's
Yeah.
yeah?
I'm in the process of getting my master's degree, something light.
What is
In
what?
acting.
Oh shit.
From Cal Arts, up in Valencia, the Disney school.
For sure. Bet. And he wants to get into acting too, I think. DJ does.
DJ already actor. My man's been acting since high school. Don't play the kid. He already acted.
He told me, or maybe he said he wanted to get back into it, but he said eventually that he wanted to like be in scary movies.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, yes, I did. I want to transition into that. I'm just saying the role that I think that I would do would for sure be in some type of comedy, but I would want to be in a scary movie because I find scary movies comedy.
And you would be like the comedic relief.
For sure, I probably would die, but I hope I would be.
No, you're light skinned though. See?
Hey, look at here. In 2019, about really 2017, okay, they changed that whole dynamic of black people dying first.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they have.
Actually, let's go past that. Not even black people, minorities. We are alive.
We gotta survive now.
Okay.
Which
Now you know who does die. Okay. Now this is almost a constant in all of them. Whoever's fucking dies.
yeah, they
Now,
always do.
That's sad. So you're telling me if I have sex, I'm good. And it's always the dude. It's never really the girl. Sometimes the girl makes it. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
How about the girl get capped off and I live? What kind of superhero shit is this?
They even do that in scary video games. Like the story of it.
Once again, that's bullshit.
It's always no. Actually, sometimes they get the female who's taking
Look
the
at here.
bath or the shower.
Look at here. I'm gonna have that on the gaming channel. There's a game that's coming out. Okay. Essentially, we probably should play it. But we should play it. But
Yeah.
even for anything, no. I'm choosing to save myself. I think I actually, before any relationship, I actually tell girls. This is also known for all you listeners out there. Any zombie apocalypse or somebody like Jason or some shit like that, a real life person with a knife. If we're in a situation and we're running away, and you trip and fall on some weird shit because you're fucking uncoordinated.
You can record it.
No, because they're uncoordinated. If they're uncoordinated and they fall and trip on their own fucking feet, I want you to understand that
You're gonna see the bottom of his shoes run faster away.
you for sure. If I can't save you, if saving you ends up getting me killed, I'm not saving you.
Right.
Now, what I will save is the good times and memories that we had together. Okay, I will cherish it.
She was a great person.
I won't date. For
She was
about
just clumsy at the wrong time.
a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, and maybe longer. Who knows? Depends on our relationship. But
You going to the funeral?
The funeral? No, that's too heartbreaking.
Right.
Okay.
That's depressing. I think they don't want me there.
Right.
Cause it's gonna come off like I don't care, and I'm gonna get the bullshit. Well, why didn't you save
I can
her?
imagine them getting the police report.
Right. There were two involved.
They're gonna say, why didn't you save her? Like, what do you mean? The fuck? There was a guy
It was
chasing
Jason.
us
What do you
with a
mean?
knife.
He's 6'6". I don't even know how tall he is really. And
Tall as shit. Let's just say that. You know what? The
he has
scariest
like
person
unnatural
is Michael,
strength too.
the most scariest person to me out of all the fictional scary characters, Michael Myers. Now, hear me out. Michael Myers is the scariest. Okay, no, in all his movies, when people are running away, this is a movie that they actually have to keep the characters running away full speed. Okay, you can see the frames. They're a good distance away. And when I say a good distance away, I mean a good distance away. I mean a couple blocks. They got their run on.
And he never
You see-
ran.
and you facts. Michael Myers always walks. And he like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll catch you. And you just like,
Patience.
nigga, I was on the track team. Nigga, I'm out. You out of there. Bro, you find a hiding spot. Give it about 5-10 seconds. He done caught up. You like, nigga.
I don't understand.
Where?
Wasn't Michael
what
Myers?
shortcut did you take?
Right.
Wasn't Michael Myers usually in the suburbs though? All you have to do is run out the house.
No.
He still catches you outside the house.
So the thing about Michael Myers is that when he sees you as a target, like he has
He locks
like
in.
yeah, he's locked in.
Oh, he already has a plan.
It's
He's been
almost like
scoping you out.
it's almost like the bro got a GPS in his head, like he just know where you at. So it's like, I mean, I don't even know why you ran it, but I mean, I guess you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So
His face
but
do look
I
like that,
ca-
like,
but
bro,
I mean, I catch you. You
I'm
feel
gonna
me?
catch you, bro.
Right. Like this is over for you. Like why are you making this harder for both of us?
No emotion, patience,
Yeah,
grasshopper.
It's really wild. Yeah, no, I'm good. Look, like I said, I'm not saving nobody. All right,
Fair enough.
family enough. I want you to understand that too. Don't get yourself
I'm
caught.
not gonna trip. So
Yeah, I'm not tripping at all.
Alright.
Even if I do trip, it's not gonna happen. I'm up.
I'm backed up in a heartbeat.
I'm
like
up.
I know the game.
I'm up. Cause every time they fall in the movie, they crawl. What are you
Yeah.
crawling? Get the fuck up. Get the fuck.
Hold on. How when you fall? That's blasphemy. How when you fall? Now all of a sudden you have tweaked your ankle. So you've never fallen before on your own feet,
Right.
and now all of a sudden this one time when you're in a dire situation of life or death, now you've tweaked your ankle and now you can't walk. That's crazy.
They need to put those kind of
You deserve
clips.
to die.
They
I'm
need
sorry.
to put those kind of scenes in scary movies when the girl trips and the guy's like, "Nah, I'm out." They don't put those in there.
I've seen a couple. I just can't name them off the top because I see so many scary movies. But there's been a handful where the girl will look up like, "Save me."
In prom night, that one that came out like years ago. You remember? It's this group of kids. They like went to prom or whatever, and it turned scary. People about to kill them and stuff. They
Yeah.
end up in a hotel, and this one girl, the like prom queen, is running in her heels in the parking lot. She trips and falls, and the girls with her dead ass
Damn.
like,
He chose the
Don't know what
one
to
night
tell
where
you.
people are gonna be wearing heels.
yeah, didn't care, ruthless.
That's fucked. Before, just to switch gears, like completely. Before you got here, we were trying to establish what Black culture is, and he thought that maybe you would have,
More of an insight than us.
because
I think about this a lot.
because we were also talking about the definition for being whitewashed. And the definition that we found in there was interesting. It was something about like not dismissing your own culture, but also adopting other cultures.
Assimilating.
Yeah, assimilating to Western society, whatever that means.
That's the first one. The second one
Oh, okay.
more based on so an absurd, patronizing term used for non-white, usually black people who don't fulfill their negative racial stereotypes. This term insulting implies.
You might want to do that again with the mic.
Yeah. They need to hear that.
Okay, so just to iterate, if you guys missed out, but again, whitewashed means an absurd, patronizing term used for non-white, usually black people who don't fulfill their negative racial stereotypes. This term insultingly implies that one's ethnic identity is mutually exclusive to the lifestyle and respect that a white person can expect in his or her lifetime. Okay.
That's a crazy definition.
Right. Yeah.
And you went to Windward, so you might be able to.
I did. Sorry. It's my mom. Hey, Mom, I'm doing a podcast right now. So.
We're not cutting that either.
That's wild. My aunt is wild. She's in the other room.
Oh, is she?
That's almost a fade. She knows we're recording, and
Well-
she has the audacity.
Well, actually, this is good.
to call. You couldn't send a text.
Black culture.
You couldn't send a text.
This is perfect because now I know she's out of the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Go ahead. You gonna have me going on a tangent?
All right, so we're back. What were we talking about? Oh, black culture. What the hell is that?
Man. It's so complex, right? Like, I think, first and foremost, the concept of being whitewashed is something that we have adopted to cope with the pain of not being able to be American in America. A country that we never asked to be in, you know. And I'm not saying that everybody comes from Africa. We all coming from different places.
Yeah.
But that's the first ask. There's only a black culture because there's a white culture that we were forced to get with and assimilate to from wherever we came from. Those were our original roots and customs.
Yeah.
Right?
Anybody who's using English.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Was forced to do so.
Yeah.
And English was created for a select group of European people in America, and that's it. And then they were like, oh, well, we got to do something with these other people that we forced to be here, so let's just make them do what we do.
I mean, that's. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but that was like the customary thing, is to take over a culture and then force your culture on top of theirs.
Right. To
So,
colonize
like,
them.
even if we had that same power and resources, we probably would be doing the same thing.
Right. Well, I guess like that's where the whole the term whitewash comes from, because you have, so black culture, I feel, is what we created in this land that was never for us, in the pockets of places that we've been able to live, and the places that we've been able to shop, and the things that we've been able to give to our kids and our kids' kids and all these things.
Yes.
We created black culture because we had no other option.
Right.
So black culture is the things that we eat. Black culture is the things that we listen to. Black culture are the ways that we dress, the way that we express, the way that we love, the way that we raise our kids, the way that we go through school, the things that we think are cool and not cool. And all those things come from what's around us. We eat what we eat because of the things that we have available to us. We dress how we dress because of the money and the things that we can afford. And at a certain time, we have to be our own champion. So yeah, if you throw on some we in LA, so if you throw on some Chucks cost $40 at the swap meet. So most of the times, Chucks and things were worn because it's what we could afford. We make it cool. We make anything look cool because we find the joy in that. But of course, if you only could afford some $40 shoes, but you really wanted some Jordans, and I see my cousin come down the street, or this boy that I go to school with, he got on some Jordans, and he also got on some khakis or something that's outside of what we could usually afford.
Yeah.
You're going to call, and he also goes to Culver City. You're going to call that man whitewashed. Why? Because the only other person that you know that was able to afford Jordans and that polo shirt or whatever was a white person. And because American English is their language, that's all we know. Because we know we were never able to be like, this English shit is not really what we should, this not us. So we make it slang. We, African American, AAVE, African American Vernacular English, is technically slang, but it's what we've evolved from slave times. So when we say finna, that's really an abbreviation of fixing to. When my mom and them was,
I intend to,
which is what they said, but in our own way, we know that I intend to is not really what sounds right off the tongue, so we just gonna say fixing to, and then we're gonna say finna, and that's gonna be slang, and then if you don't say that, then you're talking like a white person, i.e. you're whitewashed.
Yeah, he brought that up earlier.
You feel me?
He brought that up early, like if you're using, I guess if you speak well, if you have nomenclature that wouldn't normally. To be honest, like I think I use some nomenclature that a lot of even white people like. I'll throw out the word ideate, and people will be like, "I don't even know what that means."
Right.
Even a white person will say, "I don't even know what that means," And to me, I'm like, it's in there, idea.
Right.
You like to ideate, you like to think of concepts and ideas, but yeah, if you're not using, if you're speaking well, that is a sign apparently that you're whitewashed.
Right. And the only reason why whitewashed is negative is because it's proving you have something that I don't. If you speak well, you grew up and were able to speak well. Someone taught you how to speak well, or you read books, or you took classes, or whatever it was. And the only other people that we know that are given that just off rip are white people. And they
Yeah, but
use
books
it,
are very cheap.
yes, but like,
Yeah, but we don't read though. As black people, we don't read.
I do.
Yeah,
do,
you're the fortunate one. But
What?
if
You
we
s-
take
I don't
a-
have to be. You don't have to
if-
be fortunate to buy a $10 book.
Okay. No, that's not true because everybody doesn't read. It's not a given thing. Like even when we're in school and like elementary school or middle school, like essentially when you're reading something, it's because you're forced to do it in class. Do you want
Fair
to?
enough.
Do you want to go to school? No. Nobody wants to be there.
That's fair enough because
So in the fact of you not wanting to be there, when do you ever say like I want to read a book?
Yeah, no,
It's
I
not many
didn't.
people
I didn't
like
enjoy
that.
reading books until after school.
See, but that's what I'm saying. You found something in yourself that made you want to read more.
Yeah, there was-
past school, but most people don't when it comes to black culture.
In my opinion, I think that you're not paying attention enough. Then, because if you have a problem, and you can't fix it. In my opinion, I was like, I need to go find knowledge that I'm not privy to, and how else am I going to get that? It's going to be from a book.
Well, I think it's harder just because of maybe society with technology. So we're in a lazier era to where I think that a lot of the younger generation are looking at things in terms of the quick fix of getting famous, and to where you have Instagram and Snapchat and all these other distractions essentially that are taking away from reading books and going to a library. When's the last time you actually really heard somebody say, like, what are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm going to the library. You don't hear that. I have not heard anybody say, I'm going to the library. And I'm not referring to somebody that's in college that's clearly in classes and just saying, but I mean just somebody just on the strength of I want to read today, so I'm gonna go to the library, not pay for a book, possibly pay for a book, but just read because you can read for free.
Right.
And just go to the library. And
Well,
be like,
now
"Oh,
you don't even have
okay."
to go. You could just be a member and then also get access to a database where there are free
But that's
books.
what I'm saying. It's rare. So when you say it as black culture, as just as a community, we don't read, and we do need to read more. But at the same time, are our elders really pushing us to read? Because they're not even reading themselves. So
Right.
if they're not reading, how are we going to teach the younger generation to read as well? So as a culture, we're not reading. So that's why it's the way that it is.
but I think we have a really solid opportunity because I think the older generation, two things happen. The generation above our generation, they didn't read and stuff mostly because they weren't really.
You're talking about the baby boomers, right?
The baby boomers were not, civil rights era. They weren't able to read.
They actually had
So-
some environmental things that stopped them from actually getting knowledge.
But hold on. I will say that
There were some smart motherfuckers during that era.
heck
though.
yeah, and reading or traditional schooling isn't the only way to get that information. But a lot of people in our culture and outside of it, I think, like to forget that Reaganomics and the war on drugs and the crack epidemic really ruined 2 full generations of black people. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, in the civil rights era, we couldn't get that education because we literally could not. And it wasn't like that in the 80s. But if your mom and your dad had a 9 to 5 that already wasn't paying that well, why? Because it was shifting into you have to have a college degree to be able to get those types of jobs. They weren't working and they were also drugged out. Why? Because life is so fucking hard. They can only do so much for you. So while it is maybe what they want and while it is maybe what you should be doing, people only got what they got to give. And so it falls on us now. I think our generation, meaning the 3 of us in this room, people in their 20s right now, some people in their 30s, like the true millennial generation.
Yeah.
We, just like you said, you woke up one day and was like, oh, I need to go find this information.
Right.
Some
Hold on. Let me say, when I first, so I was a bad boyfriend. and I read. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with me? Because I felt something just felt off. Like I'm not doing something right. And so I read the book, The 5 Love Languages, and I was like,
Didn't you send me that?
it's a good ass book. And I was like, yo, there's some dope ass shit in these books. What the fuck? No one's ever told me to read a book before. Like, what the hell? And that's why I was like, that's when I first caught that reading bug. Like, there's so much shit that I'm missing out on that I need to be reading.
Carol sent me that book actually. When I said, because I wanted to start a book, kind of like a book competition with her. To where I said, you know what, I'm going to read a book. Like, what did we say? Maybe like 3 books or something like that throughout the year or something like that. And I was like, all right, for sure. What's the first book? Like, you pick a book one month, and then we read it, and then I'll pick the book the next.
That's
month.
What we need to
right.
start putting in the culture.
Yeah, and that's
like
the first
that.
book that she gave me. I was like, all right, she said she already started reading something. I was like, all right, for sure. What is it? And then I was like, I'll buy it.
Great book.
I bet. And I bought it. And I was like, oh, I see why she's reading this.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You start to see like, oh, I'm doing
like,
something.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's what changed my definition for what the love is. I think in that book she says love is effort and discipline. And I've taken that operational definition for everything, and now I can see that a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they mean love.
Okay, so as you say that, right? How is it that as a black man, you like, who do you feel that you connect with more as a black man when it comes to women?
White people and Asian people.
Why?
What do you mean why?
What about your culture? What about the black people? What about the black woman out there? Why do you not connect with black women?
Courtship wise, I don't connect with black women.
Why?
I think there's different manners of paying attention that don't click when me and them get together.
Like what?
Just the way that I philosophically like to question life. They don't want to think of possibilities. They don't want to sit there and basically be a philosophical consultant for themselves or other people.
What do you like? So, because I'm a black woman, and me and you are getting along just fine right now.
Right.
Obviously,
I'm not saying this isn't a universal claim. There's a space between there exists at least one person that I don't in the black community as far as like courtship with black women that I don't like align with enough to actually be in a relationship with them, to call him my partner.
Right.
I can be friends with you, but there's not many black women that I've come across where I'm like, I click with you. Like it just comes together.
So,
because a lot of the responses that I get when I do talk to some of them, I get the, oh, okay, the, oh, that's cool. It stops at a certain point, and I've never met one that goes past that point.
Yeah.
But I know that there's just based on where I'm at in life, I know I don't have access to those women. I'm sure they're out there. It's just I don't have the resources, or I'm not even ready for that person yet.
Right.
So, and I just in general, I don't click with people. So just boiling it down to someone being my life partner or boiling it down to ethnicities, I'm going based on probabilities that when I talk to a certain ethnicity, I click with them better as far as just having intellectual conversation.
I think that's exactly what we're talking about then, though. Like, you click with white and Asian people because something about your life experiences feels similar to theirs, so it's comfortable. Y'all can talk about.
I think it has to do with the fact that we're reading up on the same ideas and concepts, to where I now look at life in this way. I have a different attentional manner that I didn't have previously, and I just pay attention in life this way, and this is how I want to pay attention to life. And it doesn't, just even with my own family, when I go over to to a gathering and things like that, there is some disconnect after, just shooting the shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's literally what we're talking about. Like, you've had a life experience going to university, high school, even though it wasn't, at the time.
It was very mixed.
Yeah, but still, like, going to university, high school versus going to Westchester, working at a Best Buy, going to the military, like certain life experiences
Yeah.
that you've had have given you space to know that you want that out of life, that you want to look at it this way, that you want to, and unfortunately, your family is where they are every day, you
Yeah.
know? So, like, I think it's less.
And I try to put these ideas out there to see if it'll be caught onto. Like, hey, like if I told someone to read a book, I know this is a heavy read, but like if because I had a problems reading myself, but I would, if I tried to be like, hey, I just read this book called Plurality of Worlds, like I think you should read it.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, in general, the black woman's gonna be like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to read that fucking book. And I don't blame her, but if I'm gonna be with somebody for a long period of time, these are the kind of things I want to talk about. Because there's only so many things that you can talk about before things get stale.
Right.
And one thing that I value a lot is abstract conversation.
I think then that's like, you just gotta be a little patient, because if you say to that same black woman or black man, whoever,
right,
let's read Plurality of Worlds, and they're like, nah, they got some type of interest, there's some book out there. 9 times out of 10, every black woman that you meet, no matter who she is, where she come from, is gonna want to read Becoming by Michelle Obama. So you start there. Hey, have you read Becoming yet? Have you read Michelle Obama's book? Have you checked out what's on Oprah's book club or whatever? Then y'all are reading a book together, or at least she's reading this, you're reading the Plurality of Worlds, and then y'all at dinner and you could talk about something. She could put you onto something that you didn't know about Becoming. You could put her onto something, and then it's a little less intimidating. Coming to somebody off rip, think about it. Right now, I walked in here like, or DJ, he's read all the Harry Potters, right?
Yeah.
If DJ walk in and you don't know nothing about Harry Potter, and it's like, hey, yo, bro, I just read the 6 Harry Potter books. You should read them. 9 times out of 10, if you don't know this man, you're going to be like, I don't know. And because black people don't, we don't think, let me tell this person I'm intimidated. We don't want to seem weak. We don't want to seem this. So you gonna clown them, or you going, oh, nah, there's going to be some type of something. But really what you're trying to say is, shit, that's 400 pages of book. I don't know nothing about Harry Potter. I don't know about this. But instead of saying that to him, you say whatever you say, then that's a disconnect. But if he came in here and was like, oh, yeah, we both in the military, we might both like this. Hey, there's this new book on fucking what we talked about in the first day of training. Maybe you should check it out. Whatever. Who knows? But an interest, something that he at least knows we both have this in common. If the goal is to get this man to read a book, or this woman, or whatever, you just got to find a common interest to get somebody's guard down.
I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to force a book on them, but there's ideas and concepts in the books that I read that I would want to discuss, because that's just how I am. I'm gonna read something and I'm gonna want to talk to somebody about it. Even my friends in our Skype chat, like I can't even bring that to them.
So just do it a different way then. Just so essentially, so let's go from today, right? So from this podcast and moving onward, when you encounter any other women, but specifically black women for the sake, because you say that you can't really connect to them on that level, just have a different approach. So try and find, when you are talking to them, kind of, if you feel like you're, doing what you usually do in terms of how you speak to them, kind of try and catch it, and then take yourself back, like, okay, hold on. Let me try and change my approach to try and really gauge her to where you, like we said, find a common interest, to where, okay, let me find something that, she likes or something like that, to where now I'll try and use that and incorporate it with what I like. So now it looks like we both have something common, and now she'll be intrigued or interested to talk about it. Because if you include what you've learned, right, and want to talk about, and include it in their life, when you make anything a part of somebody, right, this is the same instance as saying, like me, when I say I don't really care for politics because it doesn't pertain to me. Tell me a rule that has changed, or etc., or whatever, that has actually changed my life. When I wake up and I go to work, come home, and do the same thing, what's changed? Nothing. But if you can explain something to me that's changed or makes a difference, or put it in my life, you know what I'm saying? Or are you telling me information that pertains to me? It makes it interesting. It makes me intrigued.
Right. But just to put this in perspective, I'm not like, I don't bring it out like hey, I read this book on this, I want to talk about this, it usually just comes out in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already being hit with these ideas and concepts before I even tell them the book that I even got it from.
So like, what's an example? How does it usually go?
I mean, it's hard to come up with an example, but it's just the small talk happens,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can only deal with that for so long
Mm-hmm.
before I bring up something. It could be anything. I can't really come up with an prime example, but for me, if a fact does come to me, I'm more likely to splice it up
Mm-hmm.
using my reasoning to see if it even makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't make sense to you, then I'm going to say something.
Got you. So you
And a lot of people in general don't like that, and especially black people. They don't like to be questioned.
That's true.
And I like to ask a lot of questions.
That's true.
This is a known fact because I for sure questioned my ex and she was upset
Yeah.
faithfully.
Yeah.
I
What do
can't
you, like her word was bond. Like
Yeah.
it like what do you mean? Like why are you where'd you get your resources? Like how did you find out the information that you got? Like I can't just believe
and a
what
lot of
you're
people
saying.
think that you're testing their intelligence, but
No,
you're trying to based off of what
I'm trying
you
to understand the feeling that they feel. So just the way that they feel, and now they're giving me the information, like it's truthful or factful or whatever the case may be. I want to feel the same way. So now I'm using my ways to assure myself of the information that you're giving me. So which is asking questions.
yeah, because even with just regular people, even not even talking about courtship, a lot of the things that people say I find ambiguous just based off
Yeah.
of the knowledge that's sitting in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to break down the ambiguity, and it can take a long time for me to figure out exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I value communication.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that just in general, not many people like that, but especially black people don't like to be questioned. They don't want to be answering a bunch of questions. Like, stop asking. Like, they find it annoying, or they may find it intimidating.
Right. I think it's mostly intimidation over annoyance, and if it is annoyance, it's you're annoyed because you don't have the answers. You know, it's
Yeah,
not fun to
yeah.
be because it feels like an interrogation. If you sit here asking me all these questions and I don't got the answers, we gonna do one or two things. You're gonna say, all right, let's stop having this conversation, or you're gonna want to fight, or you're gonna want to.
Right.
And since getting back to black culture, the culture of our people, we have for years been questioned, been picked apart, been all these things, made not to feel all these ways. And so unfortunately that pain is so deep, you not always come into the conversation thinking, oh, this is the way he processes information. He's asking me these questions because he's genuinely interested. He's asking me these questions because he wants to know and figure it out. So like, I think your responsibility in that to mitigate the disconnect, if you wanted to, don't have to, but if you wanted to, is to off rip be like, yo, I need to figure these things out. This is how I process information.
Yeah.
This is where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So then if you do that, and if someone gets upset, then you know, all right, they just didn't have it to hang with me in this.
Right. Well,
But-
that's exactly what the first initial conversation is about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell them outright this is who I am, because I don't have to, because I'm already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just based in my conversation, how I'm asking you questions, how I'm carrying myself in the conversation, you're starting to get the sense of what kind of person I am.
But that's what I'm saying. People perceive and interpret differently. Because to me, like, I'm at a place in my life now where someone who asks questions like that, my girlfriend is like this. She's very, very analytical. Very much needs to. And at a time when we first met, I was the person who was like, oh, hold up. What the fuck? You know, like, what are you, and about simple things that to me, I felt like there's no other way, no other reason why she could be asking me this besides to make me feel dumb, or like, you know, so
Yeah.
it's rudimentary, but sometimes people do need you to be like, look, I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions. I'm not coming for you. I don't think you're this or this. This is just what I need to be able to break down what it is you're saying. It's simple. It shouldn't have to happen, but when people are and so deeply intrinsically hurt, which I feel black people are, and especially black women are discredited. Black women are made to feel small in every section. If the world is this large totem pole, black women are at the very bottom of it. And then after that are people with disabilities. But then if you're a black woman with disabilities, then you go right back to being at the bottom. So a lot of black women, and I'm not saying it's right, especially in interactions with black men, feel like we have to stand up for ourselves. We have to validate ourselves, because in any other realm throughout the day, people are already jumping for the opportunity to tell us what we don't know, or what is dumb, or what is this, or you shouldn't be saying this, or I'm gonna ask you these questions because that's not right. So when you're dealing with black women or black people in general, I feel like as a black man, keeping that in your frame of mind and giving a person a chance to respond to your honesty with honesty and maturity. If you tell somebody, look, this is what I'm doing, and they can't hear that, then yeah, that is the black woman that you don't need to be with. But there is a couple black women that if they heard that, guard would come down, then y'all would have that conversation and it would be honest. And then they would probably say, okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of dumb for not knowing this, but what is it?
If I would respect them so much more if they came out and said that, and I would be like, no, listen, this is what it is. If I don't know if they want to be helped, but
most of the time, most people do. Like, if you don't want to sit there like a fucking idiot, and if you have the opportunity to, especially if I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is, and you hit me with don't worry about it.
They'd rather say, oh, okay, that's cool.
But you don't start the conversation off saying, I know you shouldn't have to, but they shouldn't either. But I'm just saying, if you are interested in having a different experience in that same scenario, just try it and see if it changes.
Okay. Because the last black woman I talked to, I asked her what the last book she read, and she said she didn't read, and it just ended there.
Well, I mean, I can't say nothing about that.
She said, I don't read. I was like,
that makes a lot of sense. But that's just one black woman.
Because that's how I connect.
Right.
That's how I connect with another person. Sometimes, sometimes it could just be like things just happen and we're talking about shit. But sometimes, like, there's gonna be a social situation where I'm gonna have to ask you a question to figure out more about you.
Right.
And if I feel like you're not up to answering the questions that I'm asking, that's when shit goes downhill, and that happens a lot. But I'm not saying that there aren't any black women out there who are interested in those conversations. I'm just saying that it's a very small percentage.
I'm saying the percentage is not small. It's a very large percentage. You just haven't dove in that pool. I could put you in front of 20 black women right now that would have an answer for that ass, period.
Really?
I second that. I second that motion.
Who?
I do second that motion because a lot of her friends are very intelligent.
That makes sense, though.
Lovely. I love her friends. Lovely. If you wanna get hooked up with somebody of color, of culture, that's this one right here for sure. That's what I'm saying. Jalen, amazing. I wouldn't say nothing bad about that woman.
So they're open to Socratic discussion all the time. That's me every day.
She's not against anything, and it's just a matter of how you approach stuff. It's about whether you know information or if you don't know something. It's about, okay, well, are you willing to learn it, to receive it? So well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm willing for you to inform me. So I mean, I'm all ears.
My conversation is lateral.
Because I'm gonna hit somebody, and I've had people like I don't know a handful of things, and when I don't know something, especially when it comes to women too, when it comes to certain things, I mean, because we all have our interests, and it's just usually we'll follow that up with, I don't know what you're talking about, or I'm not familiar with that, but I'd love to learn. Can you explain a little bit more? Can you go into detail about that?
Yeah.
And then I'll stop, within the conversation when you hit on certain things, whether I need to dive a little deeper and be like, okay, hold on, dive in that subject, because one, I don't really know, or like to just understand stuff, but I show the willingness to learn. And, when you as a man show that willingness to learn, their interest in whatever they're trying to talk about too, it'll come back to you. They'll do the same thing. Because when you talk about something and they don't know, and be like, oh, I'm not familiar with what you're talking about, and you'd be like, oh, okay, well, let me explain it to you.
Yeah, a lot of people in general are not trying to they're not willing to be dumb to to learn.
Well, for sure. I also think that that's a problem because of how we associate being questioned, or when someone asks questions. Because when you ask a lot of questions or multiple questions, it does feel like you're being interrogated, or I mean, I guess you could kind of say it's like in a negative aspect, because most of the time when you are getting questioned or someone's asking you questions, it's not usually always for a positive reason, you know. And I guess, I mean, at least in my mind, the best example is almost like when you're in a job and they're asking you all these questions that have nothing to do with the fucking job. Okay, if you're in this scenario, uh, would you cuddle with the customer if they started arguing with you or whatever, like some stupid shit?
But
But you have,
those are actually stupid questions, though. I'm not
but
asking stupid
right,
questions.
but that's the thing though. It's just how we present, how we represent and take questions. Period. So when we see these questions and we take these questions on jobs, you know, for applying to a job, and you know, even when you're doing dating or you're trying to date somebody, you're asking questions because you're on the internet and not in person. You're trying to figure out and find out about that person. It's like it comes off like an interrogation. It doesn't usually, it does not come off like um just like as part of conversation. So you feel a certain type of way. So initially, depending on how that person thinks, it doesn't come as, oh well, they're asking because they're just curious, or they're asking me questions because they don't they have to ask more questions to process things. They're not thinking that. They're just like, why are you asking me all these questions? Like,
And that's why I'd rather
that's what I'm
not
saying. It's
try
how
to.
we perceive it.
I know. I'd rather not try and force the person to like that. I'd rather just go through as many people as possible and find the person that actually does like
It's
to
just
have
how
that.
you present, bro. It's just how you present stuff. That's all it is. Because I ask 1,000 questions myself, literally, to almost everybody, especially women. And I do encounter black women, and just, but still, just even other women, I just ask questions. And the thing is, when it comes to asking questions, when you know, if you just, I always tend to say, if I can tell as I'm reading people, because I also like to read people, I tend to, if I see some type of, I guess you could say disinterest or confusion, or feel that, then I take it upon myself to pretty much assure the person of why I'm asking these questions, just in case, even before they even could be thinking about it or even have the thought of like an interrogation or you know something negative. It's, oh, I just want you to know that yes, I asked you that question, but I'm asking for this reason, you know, because I, you know, feel this way, or I don't really understand your response of what you said, so I'm asking you that so I can have a better understanding of what we're talking about.
Okay.
You know, I just make those reassurances to people, but that's me personally. You could try them, and but I don't know. That's hard for
I'm
this
gonna keep
man.
it a buck. I think that you should try it. I think you a good looking dude, and I think there's nothing in the world like black love. Like, it may sound overrated. People say that all the time, but there's nothing in the world. No one will support you in this world like a black woman will. And we can go toe to toe with that. No one in this world automatically loves you and your well being and cares about you more than the next person than a black woman. It's how we were raised, it's how we were programmed. It is what we want to do. It is the first, if the world was just perfect and we could, black women love black men, and I think a black having a black partner, there are things that you don't have to explain. There are things that you don't have to ask for. There are things that you guys have already probably experienced together that is crucial to you being able to feel safe, that you don't know until you experience it with someone else. It's the same reason why the relationship that you have with DJ over some of your other male friends
Right.
that aren't black is different. The bond that you have with him is deeper because y'all both understand what it means to be a black man in America.
I honestly don't.
Okay.
But also, I appreciate you saying that I am good looking, but I honestly don't. I mean, at least the way that's the concept behind that sentence, what it's like to be a black man in America. I don't identify with those same problems. They just haven't happened to me. So I can't say that.
I think just because they haven't happened,
Right.
unfortunately, doesn't mean that they won't.
Oh no, I'm
You
pretty
know,
sure. I'm pretty
like-
sure at some point they will, and I'm gonna have my own ways of going about it, just because I have different attentional manners in general. And I also don't see things. I don't see problems the same way. I just have a certain self-confidence about myself that even if I'm in a room full of quote unquote white people and they're supposedly the enemy, I feel that I'm the person in that room that has it. Like I'm the one in the room. No matter what race is in the room, I have a certain idea about myself as far as like just dealing with life that I feel like I don't know. I feel like
I would argue
I'm
that's
not
what it means
affected.
to be a
I'm not
black man in
intimidated
America.
by any of it.
I agree. I feel like you saying that is the same as another black man being like, yeah, if I'm the only nigga in the room, I know that I'm the swaggiest. I got the. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's, you feel me? Like, just because the experience isn't the same to a T, you've been robbed. You may never have been held at gunpoint or whatever, but you've gone to a school and niggas have talked about you and
I've been
all this
robbed. Is that
stuff.
is that a part of the black experience?
Yes,
I've been
bro.
robbed.
Yeah. That's a part of the black experience. Going
Okay.
to you've been to a school before where people have talked shit or said whatever people are thinking. I just there are some experiences that you and DJ will be able to relate to that another man who is of a different race will not. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying it will be the same, but I'm saying that if y'all talked about 20 things right now and another man was in this room of a different race or woman, you guys would connect over more of those things than the other race would.
Okay.
Who'd you get robbed by?
A black guy.
Yeah.
You got robbed by a black guy?
Yes.
So black on black crime?
Yes.
Black culture. Unfortunately.
That's crazy.
Okay. Also, just I've never been in a room with another black person who actually has very good operational definitions for the things that I ask questions for. So when someone doesn't have a good answer for my question, I question it if it's even real. So
That makes sense. No, I
so
feel you,
the
I feel
fact
you.
that you actually gave me a really good definition for things that I'm asking for, it makes more sense to me.
Nah, that's literally life. Like, me and my cousin talk about this all the time. I feel the same exact way. Have been in hella rooms where just off rip, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why are we even having this conversation? I'm lost. What were you saying? What the fuck this is? I don't want to be here. I'm over it. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Let's get to it. But I think what I was trying to say earlier is our generation has a really solid opportunity. We can have this conversation. There are a lot of people who can't sit in a room and talk about these things. So because we are able to, I think the next room that we're in, where I'm the only nigga in the room who can, it's the responsibility is on us when you the next person and you're the only one in that room who got the definitions, who understand the context. That's where you got to really find that patience and give it to the other people in that room, because if it dies with you, then we in the same spot. But if you give it to the people around you, and then the people around them are now the only person in the room, and they give it to them, and they give it to them, now it's 30 niggas.
That's part of that's part of the reason why I made this podcast, is because physically I may not be able to have access to those people, but I know if I put these kind of conversations out there and I express my thoughts and ideas that are totally different from what people are expecting to hear, I know I'm going to bring those people to one place. Yeah. So that's what I hope to get out of this experience.
But it's also the people that you hang around, though. Cause
who do I hang around?
No, not you specifically, but just other people that don't know this information. Because it's one thing to tell somebody. So let's say we had somebody here, and we're talking to them and we're trying to pretty much, give them this information and stuff, and try and pretty much just open up pretty much their mind, right? But whether they take that information and actually leave, if they're not surrounded by people by like-minded people like us, then it means nothing, because they're only going to resort back to the way that things were, because that's what's around them.
Yeah.
So if you're not around the same like-minded people that you're actually trying to be or portray, then it's meaningless.
Yeah, that's also sort of why I don't everything is tentative with me. So just based off of my logical reasoning and the conclusion that I come to, I know there's going to be some other premise that I'm going to have to throw in there, and I'm going to have to refigure it out. I actually forgot where I was going with that. Dude, that happens all the time.
No, it's okay.
That happens all the time.
That's all right.
All the time. Where was I going with that? What the fuck?
That's the beauty of it.
Okay, I think I got it back. The fact that I see that I have more things to talk about with supposedly white women and Asian women, as far as like intellectual conversation, talking abstractly, it's only something that I figured out after I've had the experiences, not something that I thought of before, saying, oh, I'm only going to talk to these ethnicities just based off of whatever bullshit that I came up with that I didn't actually experience. So when I say probabilities or generalizations, I'm saying, when I say most likely, I'm saying majority based just on the empirical evidence that I get. Right. But if you did in fact have a lot of black females in which you think they are analytical, and they came into my space and I had a conversation with them, I wouldn't not talk to them just because I have that conclusion that I only get along with this certain ethnicity on some intellectual stimulating level. So I would still be open to talk to I'm open to talk to anybody. So
sure.
So with that being said, even though he feels the way he feels, he's still open to all cultures, races. Okay, black women, go ahead and message us.
I don't care about what
he's open.
Yeah, I don't care about what you are. When I ask people questions, I'm trying to get to the center of who they are.
Look at here, help this man.
And so if I can align with
why
you,
he should love black women, all right? Please, just go ahead and just take that challenge. Take the challenge.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, just take the challenge. All right, take the challenge and help this man out.
Plus, I also think that there are some black women out there who probably have the same, who came to their own conclusions the same way. I feel like,
there's some black women that could analyze you under that desk over there. I promise you.
Oh, really?
I promise you. Like, I know them.
What kind of analyzing are you talking about?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. However, you want to analyze social justice, you want to analyze the psyche, you want to analyze metaphysics, you want to whatever. But
she said metaphysics.
All I'm saying is, I think what you're looking for is less about a certain race of girl and more just you like girls that like to debate, that are analytical.
There's a mind that I'm looking for.
You're looking for a mind, baby. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're looking for a mind.
That's a sexuality, isn't it?
Yeah.
So hold on. What is that sexuality that's called? Because it's okay. So a sapiosexual is essentially that's your attraction. It's not more of a physical thing for you. It's really just the mind.
No, I beat my shit to black women on porn all the time.
Okay, but that's different.
All right, cool. So yeah, I can't hear. So yeah, I felt like we had the conversation that I was expecting to, and I'm glad that you came to basically speak for all the black women I don't think are out there.
Yeah, man. We out here. Don't sleep.
So yeah, do you want to let people know where they can find you if they want to contact you?
Yeah, hit me up, Juicewood, on all social media platforms, or you got to come through the Jerks. Come through the Jerks to get to me.
How you spell Juicewood?
Juice WOOD.
Okay. It's
very simple.
common spelling. Common
the look
spelling.
she gave, like, it's common sense. If you don't know how to spell, don't follow me.
But, you know, people be having
Oh my
strange
God.
ways to spell things.
I for sure was about to say, I need you to spell that because people are dumb. So I need you to spell it. But for sure, that was solid. I'm glad you came. It was really wonderful.
Definitely fun.
And yeah, just tune
Next
in
time you come through, bring one of those black women that I don't know are out there.
I will. I definitely will.
Yes.
I will. Come. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, for sure. Because
Oh,
I would love
shit.
for them, whoever you pick, I would love for
Oh,
them to listen to
shit.
this podcast.
Is this
And
podcast?
based on if they're disgusted or not, whether they're disgusted, I don't really care. They can still come. Because
Hold
I'm
up.
willing to have a lot of conversations that are quote unquote problematic.
Is this going to be a dating podcast now? Is the next episode going to be a date?
Hey,
Absolutely not.
that's cool.
How do you know?
I mean, I don't know, but absolutely not.
Hey, stay tuned.
Oh, we gonna get date a black girl. Nah, not a girl, a woman. We don't date.
Fair
little,
enough.
We don't date little girls out here.
Only in our grown woman and man shit over here. That's
Big-
it.
Big facts. All right, then.
All right.
Yeah, this is the Analytical Jerks podcast. I'm Nate, and,
I'm DJ.
yeah, there you go.
Juicy juice.
Juice. Yeah, that's it. It's over.
Raps.
See ya.
Raps.
I can just hear them now.